I am resident of Collinwood for YouTube. That's my buddy Patrick McCray. That's my buddy Alan Gallant. I'm here. We're here to review the movie The Insider, which came out in 1999, starring Al Pacino, Russell Crowe, Christopher Plummer. Holy, yeah, there's a lot of people in this movie.
It's quite.
The production companies were Touchstone Pictures, Spyglass Entertainment, Forward Pass, distributed by Buena Vista Pictures Distributors.
Buena Vista. It's a subsidiary of Disney, I believe.
This was written by Eric Roth and directed by Michael Mann. Question, Alan, first, when did you first see this movie?
When it came out. I was very much in tune with the idea of this movie, and was already a sort of a news junkie and that kind of stuff at that time, which I've maintained being a news junkie in a lot of ways, although I've backed away from a lot of sources in recent years. But yeah, it was at the time, it was just a few years removed from when these events actually happened. So,
yeah. Patrick, when did you first see this movie?
See it? I lived it. Because that was going on, I think, in and around when I was in high school. Late 80s, I think, right? It was like 89, 90.
Early 90s.
Early 90s. Okay, well, then I had friends who were in high school and who would talk about, their teacher, Jeffrey Wygand, and so on and so forth. So that it was all very immediate to me. And, my mother had been a cigarette smoker, and so, that was always, in the forefront of my mind, just, tobacco culture, cigarette culture.
Yes. Yeah, I was a smoker at the time the movie came out, actually. I was.
Really? What was that like?
Well, it was nothing I didn't know by that time. I was well aware of the fact of what the whole idea of the chemical composition of cigarettes were and why they were the way they were. The 400 ingredient thing that people would throw at you was really meaningless. It's what the ingredients do, why they're there, that made a difference. And all of these things, they did everything from put shellac in there to chocolate at various times in various companies to get a taste, or to like the ammoniates that they talked about to make the delivery faster, various things. What's that?
You want that more than the stuff that you go to it for.
Yeah, and the idea also was that it delivered it faster. But yeah, the weirdly enough, when you smoke, there is actually a difference in the taste of the smoke, depending on the brand that you. Sure. Some brands are much more so than others. I used to smoke full flavored cigarettes, Old Golds, Marlboro Reds. Various other brands. I was not wedded to one brand or another. Viceroys, I smoked them for years.
I was a Chesterfield's man.
I smoked Chesterfield Straights when I worked trail crew because nobody would bum them off of me.
Yep, that was it. That was it. You were it. It wasn't Virginia Slims.
No. But I smoked for 27 or 32 years. I quit once in the middle there for several years. Then a divorce happened and I started smoking again.
Sure.
But I quit for good 15 and a half years ago. So
good for you.
Yeah.
I really like how they do behind the camera and in front of the camera here in this movie from a news angle standpoint. What did you guys think of that, Alan?
I think it topically it's perfect. It's a way of telling that story because the story is about from both sides of the camera. It's the story of this guy who's under this tremendous amount of pressure. He's putting himself under pressure, plus he's getting pressure from outside as well because of his ethical stance on these things. He's a guy that doesn't like to be told what to do. So that's really his first impulse to tell these guys to, go to hell. And it even pushes through the stress of having his family threatened and all this other awful stuff that's happening to him. Meanwhile, you have the producers played by Al Pacino, who is a pretty solid ethically, but he's working for CBS that has all these worries about lawsuits and all this other stuff. And so he defends this guy, but he can't go, some of it's out of his hands, which we find out, in the last quarter to third of the movie, when things kind of go awry for a bit. But yeah, it's a great story, and that point of view, that camera point of view, and then the point of view of the people that are the subject of the camera and all that sort of thing sort of plays into that.
There is a triple feature out there, and we've accidentally watched two parts of it about the changing role of news in the 70s and 70s and 80s and 90s. But Network,
yeah,
kind of explains what the rules are, and then we have the two Practica. We have The Insider, and the other one is All the President's Men.
Yeah.
Which really fits into, it's Washington Post.
Yeah, that focuses on print media there.
Yeah, but they all shared much more in common with each other than they do now, where they're complete strangers.
Yes, that's right, because print journalists often went into television journalism. They had that experience behind them, or they were war reporters, or they were this or that or whatever, but they were journalists. They weren't just telecommunicators.
I think it's either called the 4-star final or the 5-star final, where Edward G. Robinson plays a newspaper editor. And it's really good. It gets into sensationalism of an article, and where when you write news or print something in the newspaper, does it have a consequence? And the answer is yes, to the person you're printing it about.
Sure. And also, depending on pressures from powerful places, it also has an effect on the publisher as well.
Oh yeah.
The Paper is another good movie. I enjoyed that movie as well. It's
a Michael Keaton picture, right?
Yes, it's Michael Keaton and Glenn Close and several other fine actors in it. It's more dramatic, in terms of its peaks and valleys.
Bob Redford made a movie a couple of years ago that was about the near demise of the New York Times or something like that. And it was, I think he directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
Possibly, since he directed a lot in his latter years as an actor.
Yeah.
And still is, I think he still may possibly still direct. He's just kind of retired from acting now.
Sure.
I know he helps produce the television show Dark Winds, which I watch on AMC.
Mm-hmm.
He's behind the camera mostly now.
Yeah, that's about connections too, being a producer, and he's got tons of them. So.
Yeah.
Joel, do you think dark winds come from within you?
Oh, deep.
I think there's darkness inside every human being, Patrick.
Mm-hmm. So that's a good Christmas.
I'll attest.
Yeah, really cool camera work with this movie. I love the line where the reporter's like, "What am I going to do? Karate chop him with my nose?"
That line coming from Mike Wallace is just the best. When I saw that in the theater, I just fell out of my chair. It was one of the funniest things I'd ever heard. And Plummer knows exactly how to deliver.
Yeah, it's a great delivery. What are you
gonna do? Kung fu you? 87-year-old man? What are you, 78-year-old man?
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Guys, what did you think of all the cool camera work we got? I love how they filmed this movie, like close-ups far back from where they're looking out the window, and you see a city of the location they're in. It also gets into the risk of the news crew takes in approaching somebody like who's accused of being a terrorist, because they were blindfolded too. What did you guys think of that?
It was a great opening.
Yeah.
Fantastic opening. And it's completely, again, you don't, first time you see this movie, it's like, oh my God, we're going to the Middle East. What? I thought we were talking about cigarettes here. It's that kind of a thing. It throws you off a little bit, and then it develops and it develops and it develops. It's really good storytelling that way, cinematically. You don't have to have a lot of dialogue to have impact. And then the dialogue starts to open up, and you start to be made aware. And I think the exposition in this movie is fantastic. It's not clunky. It's not overly done. It's just situation, and conversation.
Jewel, have you looked up many of the movies that this gentleman has directed?
Michael Mann, I know he directed a ton of movies.
I think he directs the kind of movies you would really like. I mean that as a high compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
And that camera style is also something that you'll see in some of his other movies, for sure.
Oh, yeah, he has a very, very, very distinct visual style.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mann. Yes, he's directed The Last of the Mohicans, Collateral, Thief, The Insider, Ferrari. Let's see, Witness, 2012, Texas Killing Fields, 2011, Public Enemies. He was a producer.
That's the story of John Dillinger.
Yeah.
You talk about melodrama. That thing has builds into melodrama and then backs off again. It's very good. It's Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Was that Dillinger story uncut? Was it the full length Dillinger story?
It was definitely. It was lengthy. Yes.
Okay. It was not something that we deny, that we put in a
jar. No, they hung up every piece of that film.
Okay, good.
So I'm trying to make sure.
Joel, do you like your Dillinger stories uncut?
I've seen a lot of gangster stories. Oh, he actually directed the 1986 movie Manhunter.
Yes.
Which is really, really good.
Mm-hmm. It's a precursor to the other movies. I mean, it's foundational to all the other Lecter movies. Yeah, including Dragon, whatever it's called.
Red Dragon.
Yeah, Red Dragon.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't have it on here. I thought he did Man on Fire with Denzel Washington, but I could be wrong.
Maybe he did Heat.
Yeah, he did Heat.
Which is a fantastic movie.
Yeah. Michael Mann is he is the sort of director that if for whatever reason you ever decided to do a series on, you would have a great time.
Yeah,
you would like it.
Yeah.
A lot of good material, entertaining material, and a lot of good content to talk about.
Hey, he directed one of my favorite movies, Ali.
There you go.
So.
Yeah, another great Louisville movie.
Yeah,
strangely enough, which is a weird subset of cinema.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, Michael Mann has directed some very, very good films. Thief is a good movie too. With James Caan, I think, isn't it? Good movie.
Music like Green Dream.
Yeah. What's some of your favorite? Because there's a lot of really cool dialogue in this movie and cinematography. What's some of you guys' favorite moments from this film?
I like, this is progression more than one scene. I like the progression of the sit downs between Wygand and the producer that go from okay, I'll tell you all about this, but I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk. Okay, so I'll give you some advice on this fire prevention stuff, blah blah blah, and then you told, F you, that kind of. I mean, it just progressed, and then finally, they develop a trust between each other that culminates in the testimony, and then it gets kind of crushed again. Wygand gets kind of, but it's not Pacino's character's fault. Mm-hmm. It's CBS. They yank it out. So there's a progression there, the intimacy between those two characters that's really well developed. Mm-hmm. And it's not one scene, I know, but that's that's the dynamic.
Yeah. Patrick, what are some of your favorite scenes in this movie?
I believe it involves the actor Oliver Platt. Do you remember that? It's got to be Oliver Platt. Isn't that who plays it?
Which character?
Which character?
He's the lawyer when the tobacco people are trying to intimidate anyone from listening to any of this. And he has the guy on the stand. He says, "But you will not do this in the great state of Mississippi."
Oh no, that's not
Bruce
Oliver
McGill.
Platt. That's Bruce.
It looks like Oliver Platt.
Bruce McGill. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they came from the same cloning vat.
Think E-Day from Animal House. That's
Is
Bruce
that?
McGill.
My God, that's the same guy.
Yep, without the handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
And about 20 years
right.
older.
I
Sweet
first saw Bruce McGill in the original MacGyver series. He played Jack Dalton, MacGyver's best friend.
Interesting.
He's also in. He also plays the fight promoter in Cinderella Man. So he does another movie with Russell Crowe.
I tell you, he's really underrated in the movie Time Cop with John Coffey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
He's great in this movie, though.
You say Time Cop, I say underrated.
Yeah.
You say any film with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I think he should have done a Shakespeare and called it Van Damlet.
Van Damlet, a drop kick of a play.
Yeah.
You ever see him in Bruce McGill in Matchstick Men, which is a really good movie?
I have not seen that one.
Whenever I close my eyes.
It stars Nicolas Cage. They're like playing con men.
Oh, I've heard about it. I just haven't seen it. Yes.
It's pretty good. And Bruce McGill, he's playing the guy they're trying to hustle. I won't spoil it, but it's, yeah, he's been in some Bruce McGill has. He's been in some movies.
Oh,
but that scene is just wonderfully.
It is.
Hammy in a properly Mississippian Faulkner-esque way.
It's cathartic as hell too. It's just absolutely because you got Wings Hauser, who always looks like this overfed villainous guy, and he plays a lot of villains or has played a lot of villains. And his son Cole is on Yellowstone. He plays a sort of a hero villain on that. So family business. But Wings is definitely that kind of guy where he tries to, he's an intimidating guy. He's a big guy. So, but so is Bruce McGill. So
it's true.
Yeah. One of my, there's a lot of cool scenes there. I love the introduction of all the characters we get to meet because I think the introductions are really smooth. And I really like how, I'm trying to mess up his name. Oh my gosh. Where was that? No. Wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, Russell Crowe's character, yeah.
Jeffrey Wigand.
Yeah, I really love the introduction to his character. It was really smart how they did it. And Al Pacino's too. You got to get blindfolded. He's talking. He doesn't know the guy. He's got up and walked away.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we meet Jeffrey, he's being affected by others.
Yeah.
And so Gambon is in his face, and he's doing all these oblique things, and he's and all this stuff. And finally, the camera rests on Jeffrey, and he's had it up to here with his deflective sort of conversation, and he starts going straight at him. So that's the first time you see him. He's agitated. He's agitated, and he's getting fired, obviously. And he's also being questioned about, you're going to keep this, that, and the other thing secret, and all this other stuff is happening. And meanwhile, Pacino, as the producer, everything is swirling around him, and he's focused on what he needs to be focused on, and he's making things happen. Which is what so he's in control at this point, and Jeffrey is starting to spin a little out of control because he's losing his bearing because of these pressures that are being brought to bear. So it's a nice contrast.
Yeah. Let me think. Trying to think of the next question. What did you guys think of? Because they start threatening his family. You get the idea that they are at least threatening his family. What did you guys think?
It's what happened. I mean, these are terrible people.
Yeah, it's very real. They threatened him with death. They had people following him in particular. His first marriage, I think, kind of crumbled because of the pressures that were caused by all of this. And he's still around, by the way. He's a lecturer now. He taught for a while in Louisville, as you know, but he's 82, I think, and he's lectures around the country on his experiences.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing that he came out of that in one piece. I mean, that kind of pressure can make people just basically have nervous breakdowns, which is part of the reason they do it, to make people go away. And I can't imagine, and I don't want to imagine that kind of fear for your life, fear for the lives of your family, pressure from lawyers, all sorts of things to make that kind of decision. I mean, the guy was a hero. He was a hero. He sacrificed. He sacrificed a lot, and could have sacrificed everything, including his own life, to do what he did. But you see that struggle because he's human. He's not like, I will do it no matter what. He struggles with it because,
Yeah, he's more than consciously aware of the danger.
It takes real when you're struggling that way against self-preservation. In some ways, it takes real courage.
Yeah. What is you guys' favorite Michael Mann movie?
Boy, probably Manhunter for me.
Yeah.
Manhunter.
I like this one, and stylistically, for style, I really like Public Enemy.
Yeah, Public Enemy's good.
I like it. It's an action style, obviously, but there's a lot of build up and there's a lot of good scene work in it too. And it's very melodramatic. The music in it's really like da, 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 it's stylistically I like it a lot. But this movie I like the best because of its subject matter and because of the way it's handled by the direction and the actors. I really like this movie. Manhunter's a great movie too. I mean, it's spawned the whole thing. But
I don't know what I was thinking. This, this clearly, yeah.
But Manhunter is great. I mean, it is. It spawned a whole series of those. That whole series of Lecter movies, I guess you would call them.
Brian Cox is the best Hannibal Lecter.
You know what? He's pretty damn good.
He is good.
Yeah.
He is good. And, very good.
Talented actor for sure.
Still is, even when he's doing McDonald's commercials.
Yeah.
Hey, got to make a living somehow.
Yeah, you do.
Can't do art pictures and expect to have a big house. But,
I'm trying to think. I don't really have any more questions for you guys. Is there anything you guys want to add about the movie?
I think it's a great film. Go see it.
It is.
Yeah. Straight 10. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Everything about it's really strong.
And I think the dialogue, too, in the intensity of the conversations from really soft to really sometimes really loud, too, really helps the tension in this movie.
Yes.
Really, really good. What do you guys want to do tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday.
You want to talk about a year?
Yeah, we could. I also have another suggestion, and I don't know if this is thing people want to get into or not, but it's limited. It's about 6 episodes. It's a TV series that I think would be enjoyed greatly. It's recent. It's really good. It's called
Like
White
an
House.
episode at a time kind of thing?
Pardon?
Like an episode at a
An
time?
episode at a time. It's called White House Plumbers.
White House Plumbers?
Yeah.
About the Watergate thing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And it sort of fits the theme of this movie, and we're talking about All the President's Men and Network and so on. I think it would be a really good thing. Jewel, it's very funny.
Where can I watch it?
Well, it's where do you have access to HBO-ish type stuff?
I don't.
See if it's out there somewhere. And just let us know. And then if not, we'll just talk about 1999.
Okay.
Yeah. How's that sound?
Yeah, sorry I don't have.
No.
I'll try.
That's all right.
I know.
There's a lot of things I do want to bring up
Might be
about
able to find it.
1999 because
It's,
I was in. There's a lot of stuff I do want to bring up about 1999 because I was still in high school at the time.
Yeah.
I remember where I was sitting when the advertisement for the Blair Witch project started. Oh my God. And the sensationalism that was around that shit.
When I moved down here to Orlando in Florida, of course, that was a bunch of UCF students, University of Central Florida students that put that together. And it had only been like 3 years since it had broken big. And it was the talk of the film department, obviously. It was, the whole thing. So it was kind of fun. And I hadn't seen it at that point. So that's when I went ahead and watched it.
Yeah. I'll let you guys know. I'll try to find it somewhere.
Sure.
The White House Plumbers thing, and then I'll let you guys know at least by in the afternoon. I'm not going to try.
Wait. And then otherwise we'll do 1999, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Daybook about it's going to be in the description box. Pick that bad boy up if you haven't already. It's really a great read.
Yes.
Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel. Collins Port After Dark. Calpatofe makes appearances on that channel. Guys, have a good and safe night.
Take care.
Bye.
Peace out, guys.